Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers in London, and this morning I'm looking at a book on family mediation which has come to us from Ashgate. It's an important book, now in a 4th edition. It's called Mediation in Family Disputes. It's been written by Marian Roberts. It's this book here. Let me show it to you. It's a paperback, that's the front, that's the spine, and then there's the back cover, which sets out quite a lot of information about the views of people on it, what it contains and so forth. The book in simple terms is 300 odd pages long. There's the index at the back. There's a very substantial portion on bibliography, and then you've got the main text. You've got subheads, which you can probably see there. There's no paragraph numbering at the sides. There are things like bullet points and so forth, and it's generally speaking a straight text. There is, I do actually apologise, there is one, I think there's one little footnote there, but there's very, very little on footnotes. But what you've got at the front is a standard, very nice front cover and a nice dedication there. Then you have the contents. There are 11 chapters in total, plus the epilogue and a bibliography. List of cases, not too many of them. Then you've got statutory instruments. Then you've got the preface. There's some international stuff as well there. Then you have the preface. Always read the preface in these books because it gives you an idea of what's happened recently. There's a prologue, which is quite interesting. And then right at the back you have this, what is called an epilogue, which is a very small statement at the back there. I think this is an excellent book, and as I've said in the review that we've written, that in fact this is probably the leading book in the area at the moment, because it's been around for a long time. Now my wife Elizabeth and I have written this review. We've called this The Authoritative Text on Family Mediation, now in a new 4th edition. And this is what we say about the book. Published by Ashgate, this book should be considered a must-have purchase for legal practitioners as well as mediators. Yes, there are a number of books already on the market dealing in detail with family mediation, most of them extremely useful in a number of respects. This book, however, is acknowledged as the pioneering work in the field, having gone through 4 editions since it first appeared in 1988, and it's regarded as the authoritative work of reference on family mediation. This new 4th edition has been fully updated to include a wide range of new legal and policy developments across the UK and Europe. It's distinguished by its cross-disciplinary approach, which encompasses psychology and anthropology, as well as lawyer negotiation in family disputes. And the author, Marian Roberts, is eminently qualified in this expanding field, being a social worker as well as a barrister. It's unusual, that, and very useful. She's been in continuous practice as a family mediator since 1982, so has a tremendous amount of experience. She's visiting professor at the London School of Economics, the LSE, and she's also a political science and research associate at the School of Oriental and African Studies at the University of London, where she teaches alternative dispute resolution, that's ADR, at the graduate level. Mediation, she explains, is defined as a process of joint decision-making in which a third person, the mediator, exercising a non-aligned role, assists those in dispute resolution to negotiate together to reach their own mutually acceptable agreements. That, in essence, is the definition of what the mediator does at the moment. Obviously, there's a bit more that comes into it. She goes on to say the mediation environment provides, quote, a calm, safe forum for reasonable exchange, in which the parties in dispute can talk about what they previously could not talk about on their own, while at the same time retaining their rightful authority and control, implicitly respected by the mediator. Essentially, therefore, mediation recognises that the parties in a dispute, no matter how acrimonious, can make their own decisions, and that's the essence of that our procedure as mediators. The book takes the reader through all pertinent aspects of family mediation, including, most importantly, the legal context, which examines such issues as domestic violence and finance and property matters, as well as decisions of the court and the principles on which such decisions are based, notably the primacy of the welfare of the child. The other chapters, just to give you a snapshot, focus on, for example, a mediator, mediation strategies, when to mediate, confidentiality, children and the mediation process, and much more. And those doing research will also value the extensive bibliography of no less than 18 pages, plus a selective list of, short list actually, of cases and the table of statutes, statutory instruments, and some international matters as well. Let me conclude by saying, scholarly and thorough, yet succinct and practical in its approach, this work of reference should be the go-to book for all family lawyers, or indeed anyone contemplating taking a course in mediation strategy and technique. The book certainly provides considerable ammunition for lively discussion and debate on any number of subject areas and issues linked to mediation, and the publication date is cited as at July 2014. Let's have a quick look again, there it is, and then the back, just opening it up in the middle somewhere, conflict and disputes, there we go, that's what we deal with. I think this is a book that anybody who's involved with mediation, whether they've done the course or not, should be well aware of its existence and what it can do for you. Do have a look at the index, which I think you'll find very helpful if you've got a particular matter that you need to consider mediating. Because one of the points about this is that whilst there is mediation, which is a main course and a main discipline now for barristers and for solicitors, we still have to do a certain amount of this when we're actually meeting the client in court. As I've mentioned before, do read the 4th edition preface, because that gives you a very good idea of what this is all about. It is described actually as a valuable resource, and I think it is absolutely essential if you do mediation work. Anyway, I'd like to thank Ashgate very much, Ashgate Publishing very much indeed for producing this, and Marian for producing now a 4th edition. She's been at it a long time, and it's a really good effort to have someone with her expertise producing this for us as professionals. So thank you very much indeed. Bye-bye.